What's up, everybody? Welcome to System Crafters Live. I'm David Wilson, and we're back again. How long is it? 16 minutes late to get together as a community and talk about whatever topic I've come up with for the weekend. This week is no exception, because this is what happens every week. So, sorry for the delay. I'm apologizing every week, and I'll apologize again. This time, it's a little bit different because I've once again changed various aspects of my streaming setup. I'm using a different docking station now, and I've got a third monitor up here that I got the chat on, and it's a vertical orientation monitor, and I don't remember which computer I'm on, which keyboard I'm on to drive both these. I have two laptops in progress here, so I'm getting really confused about which workspace I'm changing to when I'm trying to get to a particular screen. So I'm adjusting, and we're gonna see how well the stream goes with the adjustments that are needed to make this work. But I think it's gonna be okay. We'll be fine. Let me just see. Let's say hello to the folks who are here so far. Over in the IRC side, I see Cal, Arnaud, Peter, Glenn. I know I saw Dave over in the other chat room. So when I say chat room, I'm talking about irc.libra.chat and the System Crafters-live room. If you go to systemcrafters.net/live, you'll also get a web-based chat that takes you right there too, so you can do that as well if you want. And over on the YouTube side, I see Jerry, Enrico, Dominic, Kuba, Christian, and Fikri. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. Let me just man, I'm getting so confused. This is getting really crazy. All right, just one sec. So today's stream should be relatively interesting. We're going to try something just from scratch. Not really from scratch. We're gonna use our Emacs knowledge to try to implement something that I had a thought to try. But we'll get into that in a little bit. We'll chat a little bit first, but it should be pretty interesting and fun, I think. I hope. We'll see. Chonkus, hello Chonkus, says, is it possible to run Geeks with Bcache FS as the root FS? I don't know, but maybe somebody in the chat would know. Hello to Jeff and to Jaza. Nice to see you. Slalom Skater says, use Simless Synergy to solve the keyboard problem. I probably should do that, actually. Like, Synergy is I've used it a lot in the past, but I haven't really used it in this setup. I wonder if it's in Geeks. Let's see. Geeks packages by name. There must be something like Synergy. The question is, does it support Wayland? Synergy. Mouse and keyboard sharing utility. Well, how about that? I don't see Wayland in the list of dependencies, though. I see libx11, so it might not support Wayland. Maybe there's something that supports it, though. Hey, Dave. All right, so let's see. What else we got? Thanks, Ashraz, for creating the forum post for the stream. He's got it linked over on the YouTube side. Hello to Paul. All right, so news. What news happened this week? I've been heads down again, working on some more new stuff. We worked on the stream on Wednesday. I didn't get to do it on Monday because the kids were home for a holiday. So Wednesday we had a stream where I a Crafter Hour stream where we worked on the emacspackages.com project, and we automated getting the initial site data syncing the first time the site loads up. It mostly works, but I think the most of the time that we spent was trying to get the emacsPackages.com repo turned into a Geeks channel so that it could be pulled into our server configurations repo as a channel. I think I might have forgotten to actually commit those notes for that, but it went pretty well. And I think that we're in a good spot, but somehow I managed to kill the site after the stream was over. So if you go to staging.emacsPackages.com right now, you get a bad gateway error. In fact, if I show you that right now, you'll see how embarrassed I am about that. Staging.emacsPackages.com. Yeah, there's a bad gateway error because I think I borked something. But we'll get back to that on Monday, in theory, and start to get a little bit polished up on that front. Outside of the streams, I've been studying Kubernetes a little bit. Why? Well, because you got to stay up on top of whatever is happening in the industry in case you need to get a job somewhere. So I've been looking into Kubernetes and sort of deployment model around microservices applications. Pretty interesting stuff. We might do a stream on setting up a Kubernetes cluster in Geeks at some point soon, because I have actually gotten that to work at a basic level. And the question you may have is why do that? Well, that'd probably be answered when we do a stream about it. But I think it's good just to know how these technologies work and also see that they can be applied in Geeks if you want them to be. So that's something I've been working on, which has been pretty fun. Other than that, just trying to get caught up on all the other irons that I have in the fire at the moment, plus taxes. Oh boy. Yeah, we got taxes coming up now. So if you are in the US, just remember, you got a month until you gotta pay your taxes. And if you have a business entity that needs to file taxes, then you better do it fast because deadline's coming. So anyway, just thought you should know. That's what I've been up to. So one other piece of news that might be relevant to you all is that I am starting to work on, let's say, first of all, a Geeks course. From going from zero, knowing nothing about Geeks to actually configuring your own full sort of system/home environment with a desktop environment based on Sway, sort of like what I have here. It's also almost like a Geeks from scratch in a way. So new Geeks course in development. So I'm going to try to do this a little bit differently than I normally do, which is I try to write a bunch of stuff and then maybe I'll do some trial runs of the course and then, record the thing for real. I kind of did that last year with the Guile course and it worked well, but I may want to do it a little bit differently this time. So one thing I'm thinking about doing is getting people who are members of the System Crafters Guild involved in the development of the course. Now, that doesn't mean you write the course. What it means is I write material for the course and I basically just let the people that are guild members at the $15 tier and above see it on the forum and give feedback as it goes on. We may do some other things related to that. Maybe we'll do like a live, sort of like a private live gathering every now and then. But the goal would be to get feedback from people and kind of guide the development of the course to really hone in on what people need to know. Because I've gotten to a level of understanding of Geeks at this point where I know how I would explain it to people, but it may not be the most effective way for people to understand it. So getting checked on my approach would be useful before I do the final recording of everything. So this is what I plan to do. System Crafters Guild members at $15 tier and above will have early access to in-development course material while I'm working on it on the forum. So I'll set that up and I'll let people know about it. But if you want to join the guild to be a part of that, you'll go to systemcrafters.store. And if you scroll down to the middle of the page, it's kind of unfortunate how this works, but you scroll down to the middle of the page and they have the 3 tiers for the guild membership. So you would join the $15 or the $30 a month membership, and joining this so it helps to support me to continue working on stuff for this channel and to continue to have time to focus on building projects like the ones we're doing on the Crafter Hour streams and more, because I really feel like I'm gaining a lot of knowledge from doing that, and I'm hoping that by continuing to do that, I'll be able to give a lot of really good real-world examples of building projects in Scheme and using Geeks, because we're making a lot of progress so far on that project, and I'm kind of excited about kind of where we can go to build out a more production quality level website. Obviously, free software, everybody can go check out the code and use it for whatever they want. But just having that knowledge out there, sort of examples and showing the process of development is pretty important, I think, because there really isn't a whole lot out there for Guile Scheme and for Geeks development. I mean, you've got me, you've got Andrew Tropin, who does a lot of Geeks and Scheme streams. But other than that, there's not a whole lot. So if you want to see more of that, I think that becoming a guild member is one great way to show your support for it. So join the guild on System Crafter Store if you want to be involved in the early access for the course, the new Geeks course. And I'll be starting up some threads on that pretty soon, just like with a general overview of what I plan to cover, to get people's feedback on that, and sort of hone in what the actual topics are going to be. Let's see, join the guild here. I also want to cover a tiny bit of Scheme as well in that course, not explaining Scheme as a whole, but just enough so that someone who is getting started kind of understands what they're looking at whenever you're looking at a Geeks configuration. So I think it will be pretty useful for those of you who haven't really had a lot of time to spend on learning Geeks yet. Okay, let me see what's going on in the chat here. Jerry says, I use a hardware-based keyboard mouse switcher. I would definitely use that. Peter says, Synergy should support Wayland now. That would be great if it does. I need to look into it. There's Waynergy that Jeff has linked to, which is great too. Vicky D says, how goes the job hunt? I got turned down by all 3 of the places I sent my resume to, which is pretty much the way it is right now. So many people have lost their jobs due to the economic downturn and just general changes in the industry that it's difficult to get noticed at job positions. It's fine. I mean, it is what it is. So it's a long game. If I need to get back into some kind of employment situation, so I'm trying to like skill up and maybe specialize in some areas to try to help out with that whole thing. It's just the way it goes. It's a little bit difficult out there right now. So all I can say is if you have a job in the software industry right now, treasure it and don't let it go, because you don't know how things are going to be. Let's see what's going on over on the YouTube side. Speaker says, are you still a U.S. citizen? Of course. Let's see. Also, PewDiePie switched to Linux. Yeah, I heard about that. And it's really thanks to Valve in their efforts on Proton, I think. Because it makes it possible to play Windows games on Linux. So it kind of, helps. Paul says, not sure if it's news, but Mickey Peterson's new article on replacing TMUX and GNU Screen with Emacs is pretty good. I had not heard about that, but that is actually very relevant. Let's see, masteringemacs.com. And for those of you who don't remember, if you are interested in the book Mastering Emacs, there's a promo code in the description of the stream below that. If you use that promo code, the System Crafters promo code, part of the proceeds of the sale will go to supporting the channel. So that's another way you can support the channel if you want to get the excellent Mastering Emacs book. I'll have to read this because I've thought about this a bit, and it's not necessarily so easy, but I would love to hear Mickey's take on it. So read Mickey Peterson's, Peterson's new Mastering Emacs article on using Emacs as a TMUX replacement. All right, cool. Anything else? Let's see. Pancreas says, started watching the Howm video yesterday. Been using it for a while to take notes at work. When I found I was searching for note-taking in Japanese, all the tutorials were in Japanese. Yeah, there's one really good book that someone wrote in the community that really explains it well enough that I think it is kind of like the Bible in a sense for using Howm at this point. And I learned a lot from reading it. I'll get into that in a little bit. I'll talk about Howm in a second. But yes, there's not a whole lot of information on Howm. It's been around for so long. It's been around for like 20 years or something, but there really hasn't been a whole lot of English language information on how to use it, which is really interesting. Zach says, still waiting on that light colored hat for hot summer months. What color do you want, Zach? What color do I have there right now? I don't even remember. Let's see. I'll tell you what, I've been wearing this vintage wash cap quite a lot lately, and I quite like it. I like it better than the one that I'm wearing right now. See, what colors do we have on that one? There's a light blue. Maybe there needs to be like a white or something, maybe. But this one's good. The vintage wash cap. There's like a gray one that has the white logo. That could be pretty cool. Anyway. Peter says, which Helm? Helm on Kubernetes? I guess. Tan. Yeah, tan might work. Ashraf says, I think David meant Howm. Yeah, that's right. Not Helm, Howm. I know, it sounds like Helm, but it's Howm. Okie dokie. So, let's see. Left Pat says, join the guild, be part of the cult, Control G, emergency escape. At least we don't have to deal with that anymore, okay? We got rid of the terminal Emacs, so we're not going to have any terminal Control G situations, which is good, because that was a little bit of a pain. All right, what time is it? It's time. So today, what we're going to try to do is to emulate some of the Howm features using Denote and Consult. I literally have not done anything on this so far, so we're all going to be just figuring this out as we go. One of those streams. Hopefully it will be fun and interesting for everyone. And we're just going to give it a shot. So let's see. Emulating Howm with Denote and Consult. I know I'm repeating myself. That's fine. So Howm. Howm is a really interesting package. I have been using Denote for probably since 2022 for note taking. And the thing I liked about Denote, sort of like what I liked about Org Roam, is that you don't really have to think about where you place your notes, which file you go and put your notes in. You just create a new note with a given title. You write whatever you want to write about it. And then you can link that note to other notes. You can have backlinks. You can kind of cross-reference things, etc. And it doesn't require you to have a database that has to be kept in sync. It's all done just using searching on text files that are in your Denote folder. So I had been hearing people talk about the package called Howm for a while, and I saw Jack Beatty on the Fediverse talking about it one day, and I was kind of curious to try it out. So we did a stream where we went through setting up Howm and trying it out, walking through the tutorial book that I talked about. And I was kind of interested in the features that it provided, and especially the way that it focuses on sort of the linear stream of time, like looking at notes in terms of when they were last either created or edited. I don't even know if I have a Howm folder set up here. Do I have anything here? Let's see, Howm. Great, there are some notes here. So let me try to tweak my config really quickly to pull those up, just to show you what I mean. Emacs.org. There's Howm in here somewhere. There we go. Oh, okay. So it's already set up on this computer. That's great. So if I were to use Control C, semicolon, nope, not in this buffer. Wow. Control C, comma. No. Control C, comma. All right. Let's eval this directly. That's better. Okay, so you get put into a sort of a home screen for Howm. This is the Howm menu command. And you get a list of all your recent notes, basically the ones that you have either created or changed recently. It's basically on the file modification time. There's also a random list that gives you sort of a random sampling of the notes you've created, just in case it kind of jogs your memory. Because part of the problem that you have whenever you start writing a bunch of notes kind of fragmented like this into individual files is it's very easy to forget the things that you've already written about, unless you've got a really strong connection between all the notes in your knowledge base, either through like hub notes or topic notes that are linked between things. it's easy to just lose things. And I've done that plenty with Denote. Like I've written all kinds of stuff, all kinds of like ideas or designs or plans, and I literally just forget about them because I never go back and look at the history of all my notes. So the interesting thing about this package is that it gives you a couple different ways to be reminded of things that you've written. One is by this random listing where it just kind of surfaces things to you every time you pull up your menu. Notes that you may have written at some point in the past. Maybe you'll have seen one and you'll be inspired to write something else related to it, or maybe you'll remember about a task that you're supposed to complete or something. Also, the recent list shows you the things you've been writing most recently. And the thought process there is you're probably going to go back to the things you were writing recently. So it just gives you a quick list to see for those things. It also has a very interesting way of managing tasks, which there are different task types with different rules about when you get reminded about these tasks. This is something that would have to be replicated more on an org mode level, and I think it should be possible to do that, but we're not going to try that part today. We're only going to focus on the note-taking aspects of Howm and how we could possibly replicate those in Denote. The other kind of useful thing about Howm is that there are different kinds of cross-reference links that you can make between notes. And the thing about that is they're not like actual links to files. They're actually kind of embedded search queries. So if you look at this System Crafters videos note here, this is a note file, but the title has this arrow, arrow, arrow syntax in it, which I believe turns it into a search query. So anywhere you see this text, if you click on it or press enter on it, yeah, not that one, press enter on it, then it brings you into this search listing, which gives you all of the results of searching for that string across your note files. So it's almost like gives you the ability to just embed links to other related notes just by typing something in without having to know which notes are related to it or to actually go manually cross-reference those notes. It also doesn't require you to create a note file to do the backlinks or the forward links as well. So it's kind of nice in that way. There's also this sort of forward linking syntax, which that's for making actual links to different note files. So you do links to a file itself, or I think to the title of a note file. There's a couple different ways to do it. There's other syntaxes as well for doing links to notes, but we might try to use buttonizing text in buffers to do a similar thing with Denote, because Denote does have some search functionality, or you can just use grep across the repo. But there's also a package by Prot that we're going to look into that might make this a little bit different, or a little bit better. So there's certain things that Howm does that I find to be really interesting and advantageous for the kind of note-taking style that both Howm and Denote encourage you to do, which is to write notes in fragments where an individual file focuses more on a single concept or thought, which is another thing that's inspired by the whole Zettelkasten concept that you see with org Rome, with the program called Rome by Rome Research, etc. Like the whole, well, Zettelkasten, but I don't remember who came up with it at the moment. But point being, write small notes, link them together so you can build a web of knowledge that you can refer to and get inspiration from whenever the time comes. So the goal is to implement some of the stuff that comes from Howm, the good ideas from Howm, into a Denote workflow using both Denote and Consult. So that's what we'll try to do today. See ya, Pancreas. So what else we got in the chat? Redacted says, still not obvious to me what the advantage of Denote is if you're all in on org syntax like I am. Well, I use org syntax in Denote, and it's much better than using org syntax in Howm. Using org syntax in Howm is rather kludgy because of the way that Howm works, because it treats any top-level heading in a file as a separate, distinct note, which might be cool for some people, but it's not really cool for me because I tend to use titles on org files for like what the actual file is, and then top level headings for organization purposes. So I quite like the way that Denote works in terms of using org files as notes. It is very org native. It makes sense. Howm is a bit hackier, so that's why I prefer Denote over Howm for org-based notes. So let's see what else we got going on in the chat. History is a circle, says Left Pad. You will land into the terminal someday again. Well, I also run a YouTube channel, and I need content ideas, so probably, yeah, we'll go back to the terminal at some point. Ashra says to Redacted that Denote's file naming scheme is not exclusive to org mode text files, but can also cover other files like PDF, random web captures, and other similar files, which is cool. Fade. And Denote is just a file naming scheme. It's a file naming scheme plus some logic for how to connect notes together and some sort of UI for making that a bit easier. Cal says maybe use second level titles as in ## for top level org titles and first level titles as in # for Howm titles. Yeah, that's what I've been sort of forced to do, and I had to modify my writing workflow to deal with that. All right, so Jerry says Zettelkasten. Yes, Jerry, that's right. Okay, so Denote. Let me see what I've got for notes here. Crafter notes. Trying to find my test notes. Oh, that I think that's from Obsidian. So I'm trying not to get into like my actual personal notes because I got, you know, really unbaked ideas in there. So just trying to stay out of that. All right, that's another one. We'll just make a new one probably. Denote, that's fine. All right, so. So let's see. We're gonna start with a Denote configuration. I've already got one. If I go into my .files emacs.org file and look for Denote in here. I wonder if I hadn't actually loaded that. So require DW writing. Probably should start from scratch though on a configuration from this. And I don't really want to get into that. Cal says list of enemies.org, dirt on acquaintances.org. I don't have files like that, Cal. Come on, I'm not that kind of person. Denote. There we go. There's my Denote config. All right. How did I break it? All right, so I'm going to change my Denote path to Denote here. I've got some config already. Let me just reeval this whole thing. Denote bind, no. So Denote. New file title, system crafters streams. I don't know. I've forgotten what all these tags mean because I've been using Howm for a while. KE, okay. This is a file about system crafters streams. So just for the sake of argument, I'm going to put a little thing like that in here so that we can go back to it later. We're going to try to make a buttonization code for that. Let me also see what's going on in the chat here. I keep having to re-scroll that window. Duraj says, do you use a standard keyboard or a split keyboard? I use a standard keyboard. I use basically a ThinkPad keyboard that is treated as the USB external keyboard. How are the Emacs native key bindings been? I've been thinking about quitting Evil. I am very happy with the built-in key bindings. I mean, as happy as a person can be. I'm not like ecstatic to be using them, but it's fine. I've gotten used to it. I admit it. It's fine. Ashra says, I have to admit I've started using Kuo mode lately. There's no shame to using Kuo mode. So yeah, basically, I I highly recommend anybody who has been using evil mode for a while, try for a little while to use built-in Emacs key bindings. You might decide you don't want to go back, mainly because things just work in a lot of places, and your mental model for how you're supposed to get around in Emacs will be way more consistent with what you run into in any given package. Because with evil mode, you often have to use like evil collection or something to configure the key bindings for all the packages that you use so that it's more evilly. Sometimes it's better just to do it the way it's supposed to be done. Glennon says, will this be Diome or Howm-like? What it's going to be is Denote Howmish. That's what I've thought about as a name for it so far. All right. Hickory says, built-in key bindings are good if you get used to it. Take a look at Soding. He's crazy on Emacs. Well, I don't really think you can count Soding as a normal human being. So, and I mean that in a complimentary way. Peter says, I tried Emacs key bindings for about a month and gave up back on evil. I did that a couple times and it finally stuck. So I would say just keep trying. All right, so let me go back to the stream notes because I want to say what we're going to do. So what will we be trying to replicate? First and foremost, searching for notes in most recent edit order. Red Actor says, because we're definitely normal. Yeah, we're definitely normal. We're the most normal people that you could imagine, right? I mean, what can I say? We're just a group of normal Notepad users here. Not even Notepad++. We just use Notepad. Which other personality, LeftPad? Because I think you're talking from the wrong one currently. All right. So searching for notes in most recent edit order. And by that, I mean, if I were to press Control-C, ;S, is that right? No, not right. Let's see. Howm. What is the key binding for that? Control-C, ;H. Find today, find yesterday. Create, remember. Is it O? No, that's occur. So there's a few things. So let me just kind of pull this up. Back in the notes. The things that I want to kind of replicate would be the find today, find yesterday, because finding the notes that you wrote today or yesterday is kind of interesting. Maybe you want to kind of refresh on what things you did yesterday by looking at the notes that you wrote as a result of the things you were doing yesterday. So I feel like that actually is a pretty useful feature to have. Hey, Scott. Scott says, I've been watching too many game streams. Which kind? Diraj says, I envied Soding on how good he moves around Emacs. Paul says, have you tried Peter Prevost's Denote Explorer, which is part of his Emacs Writing Studio? He's done a nice set of tutorials on Emacs Writing Studio that are good for beginners. I have not looked at that, but I imagine it, and it is good. All right. So, open named file. List all. Is that it? Control-C, ;A. Come on now. It is defined. Give me a break. There it is. Okay, so that's all the notes. So we get all the notes, which we kind of already have that, but we still need to have it sorted in order because I believe all these notes are sorted in descending order in terms of most recently edited time for that whole reason we mentioned before. So Howm list all, is that what it's called? Yeah, Howm list all. So notes in most recent edit order, searching for notes from today and yesterday specific date. Following search query links. I mean, that's a good starting point for now, I think. So let's see. What time? Okay. So let's get it started. I'm going to create a new file that we can work in. Actually, no, let's just put it here. EL. Once I fix the source block. Why did it not work? That was weird. Didn't color that right. So we're going to just add some stuff. First of all, maybe I should take a step back. Protosilaus, or Prot, as people know him better, has made a package called Denote Consult. Or is Consult Denote? Consult Denote, sure. So this is a package that is a separate package, but it's still written by Prot. And the purpose is to integrate Denote into Consult in a way that makes it easier for you to search for your Denote notes. It doesn't do everything you would imagine it would do, but I think it is a good starting point to try to build functionality on top of, or at least take some inspiration from, so that we can try to implement some Howm-like features. So we're going to start that. Start by looking at that and see what it has inside of it. I don't know if we've looked at this so far in the streams, but we're going to take a quick look at it first and just sort of see what's in it. Looking at the file itself, there's not a whole lot. There's consult denote mode. Did I actually install this in my profile yet? Let's see. I know it's in Geeks. So let me, I hope this is going to work. Dot files, David Will, home services, Emacs. Emacs consult. There we go. Emacs consult denote. I know it's in the repos, and I'll just verify that by checking Geeks packages by name, and that is seems to be the update version. So I'll go into a terminal, and then I'll run. Well, I got to run it this way. .files.bin update system. Let's see how long this takes. It won't take that long, I think. Just give it a second. I just did a full system update before the stream, which I know I shouldn't do that, but I did it, and it seems to be working fine, but we're about to find out whether that was a terrible idea or not. Famous last words, yes. Yeah, I did a pull before the stream. Okay, cool. So we're at least gotten to the point where we're installing Consult Denote. Was there anything else I needed for this? We'll find out soon. Almost there. Can't resist getting those tasty updates. This is literally the first time I've updated this system in probably 2 or 3 months. Because the last time I tried it, it didn't go so well. So it's been a long time since I updated the system. Oh, great. Building profile with 158 packages. This is going to take a minute. All right, so in the meantime, let's take a look at what Consult Denote mode has in it. So it changes some things. It adds some advice on the file prompt. Okay, so it's basically changing the way that prompting is done for some of the Denote functionality to use the Consult versions instead. Now, keep in mind, I have not been using Consult in my configuration for a while now. So I I don't know what it's going to look like whenever I finally pull it up, but we will see in a second. All right, so we got some advice being added. Can you read this? All right. Org extras, outline prompts, silo extras, directory prompt. Okay, so there's a few different things there. File prompt. Okay, so just removing the same things. Adding a denote buffer source to the consult. So set denote silo source, subdirectory source, buffer source. So it's, yeah, we've got a buffer source. That's great. Consult denote find. Denote find command, denote directory. Okay, where is the denote find command? Outline prompt. File prompt. Consult powered equivalent of denote file prompt. Filter candidates per the given regular expression, optional prompt text. We'll see what that actually means in practice. All buffer sources, denote find command, consult, denote find. Oh, consult find, consult grep, got it. So you can customize what gets used for those, that's good. All right. Still waiting for this to finish. So, in the meantime, I'm thinking that what consult denote is actually doing is not what I thought it would be. It seems to be using consult in its own prompts for note creation, but we're going to find out in a second whenever it finally, gets installed and we can load it up and take a look at it. Let's see if I missed anything in chat. Arnaud said, I think I made the definition pack some time ago. What's that mean? All right, so we got it set up now. Let me run Geeks Emacs autoload packages. Then I should be able to pull in consult denote. There we go. Consult denote mode. Boom. Consult denote mode is enabled. Let me go back over to the notes here. Consult denote mode 1 to turn it on. Okay. Now denote. New file title. That's not really surprising because it's remembering the names of other stuff. So let's see. Consult denote find. Oh, find. All right. So no matches. Well, there's no files there, so that kind of makes sense. Wait, there's files. Consult denote find sys. So is this searching across everything, or is this just looking for file names, I wonder? Let's create some more denote files. So denote scheme. If I can type correctly. Whatever. Oh, what about some other ones? Denote JavaScript. Philosophy. Grocery list. What else? Ashra says, does consult denote hook into the consult buffer scheme? Yes, it does. It does. So, what else can I put here? Something else that's completely unrelated. Building barns. No, that is not something I want to do. I've done it before. Okay. So, consult denote find. SCH this EA. Okay, so it's basically just using consult to find the notes, but I guess the shortcut here is that it goes directly to the Denote directory and looks at the files that are inside of that. So instead of having to use find file yourself and go there, it gives you a quicker path to get there with Consult. So okay, that's pretty basically useful. It doesn't give you the actual titles of the files. You can't search based on the titles. So that's one thing that would kind of be useful. You kind of need to be able to look at the titles of the note files. That's something that the Consult Notes package does. Let's see, who wrote Consult Notes? Colin the Clear. Okay, so Colin wrote this package called Consult Notes, which I've used in the past, which is pretty good if you use both org roam and Denote. It can kind of put all those together into one list of files that you search through. We might be able to sort of steal some ideas from this, but it does give you the ability to search your notes based on the actual title and not the file name, which is better in my opinion, which is something we want to replicate in what we're doing if we can. So let's go back to our Emacs Lisp code now. Trying to think of the best way to approach this. Denote has some built-in functions. I can't remember what they're called. Directory files. Denote directory files. Files matching regex, omit current text only. Return the list of absolute file paths in Denote directory. So if I run that, Denote directory files, it gives me the list of files that are currently there. So let's just start with that. Denote directory files. I don't know why it's not giving me any syntax highlighting. So we got that in here. Now, there is a way to get a consult completing read-like interface. Consult prompt. Actually, let me check the code we were just looking at. Consult find. Denote find command. Consult denote find command. Denote directory. Consult customize. Right. Consult denote find, which is an interactive function, interactive command. And the find command is consult. Oh, okay. All right, let's look at what consult find does. Search for files with find in dir. The file names which okay, find meaning the tool used to search actual file names. So it's just the normal Linux file tool. So let's see. Can I look at the source for this maybe? Okay, consult find prompt builder initial. Run find command in the current directory. Consult read. I think consult read is the one that I'm looking for. All right. Here we go. I'm just going to steal that snippet right there. And I'm going to drop it here. So process collection builder, consult read, table, and then options. Console process collection builder, builder props, async map. This might be nice in the future, but not right now. I just want to see another example of a console read being used without asynchronous stuff. Am I going back to the same places? Okay, async functions or pipelines. Scroll back. This computer is going extremely slow for a very strange reason. Okay, there's consult read 1. Here it is, finally. Table. So it says that it is the same as completing read. So let me just check completing read real quick. What is the docs for this? Prompt and collection. Collection could be a list of strings, an A list, an operate, or a hash table. Just looking to see what else it says. Okay, it does expect a list. I can give it straight up a list. So in this case, I will go ahead and kill this whole thing. I'll pull in Denote directory files. 89. What's that? Void variable prompt. Let's see. Note. I don't know. Initial. Yeah, let's not put that in for right now. Okay, so we've got a listing now of all the files. All right. We need to map over this. Map car, I think. Map car. Function sequence lambda. File. Denote. Come on. There's a function you can use to get the title of a file. Let's see. Create note. The last phrase of my password. Yeah, these things happen. These things happen. Anybody remembers the name of the procedure or the function, please shout it out. File. Man. This is a place where consult will be useful. Consult function. No? Oh yeah, Purple G for sure. Retrieve title line. Retrieve front matter title line. File and file type. Not documented. Let's see, retrieve title value. File and type. Do we detect the type, or do we have to know the type? All right, let's just try it anyway. So, denote retrieve title or file name. File nil. I don't know. Okay, so it didn't return the title. It returned the file names. Just the file name part, which is okay, I guess. Okay, so That's not the right function though. Obviously it's not the right function. Or let's just say, what is it, org? Is that good enough? What don't you like? What are you looking for? Guess we have to find the definition of this function. Front matter title value. There it is, component and scope. That ain't right. Front matter title value. Retrieve title value, denote, retrieve front matter title value. I don't see where this is actually being used. Matter title, where is that defined? Def macro, no kidding. Okay. Retrieve front matter, file type. File type. Come on. Does it need to be a string? Sorry, a symbol? Let's see. Okay, there we go. I actually had to put org as a title. I also want to make this preview. So do I need to make this a defun denote Howm-like find file? I don't know. There's that. Okay. So let's see. We have the titles. Right, we're trying to get the preview working. All right, so this is one of the things that Howm does, where whenever you find, you open the list of notes, you're able to arrow through the list and get an automatic preview of the files that you're going through. So we're gonna try to re-implement that, doing the same thing that Consult Denote does, which is this preview. Where is it? Preview. I saw it somewhere. Right there. Consult customize. Consult denote find. All right, so we've got this little addition here. Let me just drop this in for our command that we're writing. So I'm gonna evaluate this one code first, and then I'm gonna go here and update this to be denote Howm-like. No. Was it find file? Okay, so let's see. If I were to run that command now, denote Howm-like find file, it doesn't seem to work. Let me see if I did anything else that would cause that not to work. So there's a declare here. I don't know if that's necessary. Fun call interactively. I might need to do that too. Is this an interactive function? Doesn't say it, does it? No, no, it's a CLD fun. Come on. Come on. Nope. Weird. Okay. State. Okay, it doesn't actually do... Oh. Maybe that's why. It's because I'm not giving it the right thing. It's getting the titles, but it's not getting the file. So what does it need? What does consult read need? Oh, whenever consult read returns, we need to... I feel like I've done this before. Like in another stream. So yeah, we basically have to have a an A list here, which I don't like, but feels like it's really inefficient to do it this way. But maybe if we let's start simple. We're doing map car. And we're going to return a const pair. We're going to const the file name itself with the title. Okay. Go. Console read, on the other hand, is going to use map car, and we're going to pass car as the function to execute. Come on. On the options list. The problem though, preview keys or the preview keys can be nil, any, a single key, or a list of keys. I don't know what that means. Probably need to look at the docs for consult. I guess preview is not quite as important. It is important, but filter function call for each candidate. We don't need that. Require match, history, add history category, sort, lookup. A lookup function passed the selected candidate string, the list of candidates, and the current input string in the what? Return an annotation string and a list of 3 strings, candidate prefix, postfix. Okay, annotate could be useful. Ooh, maybe I can just use that. State. Maybe that's not necessary. So, man, I know I wrote something like this recently. But when I say recently, it was probably a year ago. let's see, Denote. Crafting note-taking extensions for Denote. Probably that one. Completing read. Map car topic files. Yep. Retrieve front matter. Yep. So it's effectively the same thing I did. Select the topic, format, select the topic. Okay. Direct files. Oh, that was the only one. Okay, that's very different what I did there. Okay. This should be gooder. So, man. They don't really make it easy, do they? Should I use the annotation thing? So let me look up the Consult Emacs documentation. And annotation. All right, so either the items or async source field is required. This is something different, but list of strings to select from or function returning a list of strings. You carry metadata in text properties. Okay, got it. Okay, so we got to put some metadata on there. So that's the solution. So set, or it was a propertize string, propertize string with properties. Return a copy of string with text properties added. All right. So instead, what we'll do, we're not going to const here. We're going to propertize the denote string. And what is the format of properties? Check out text properties for more information. Can you show me clickable text? All right, yeah, that's cool. We want that. Changing properties, set text properties, put text property, blah, blah, blah. Property lists. Is that a P list? Okay. Path. And then file. Try that. And consult read, in this case, will take options directly. Oops, unbalanced parens. The let does not get closed out. I wonder if I screwed that up completely. Let bindings can have only one value form. Yeah, I missed closing out the what? The binding list is closed out. What's going on? Huh? Let bindings can have only one value form. What did I do wrong? Oh, I missed that. Got it. Propertize 2. And what do you want then? String. Oh, okay, got it. So it needs to be, I think, like that. Okay, cool. Now, So we're gonna put that over like this. It's gonna be a let star. It's also gonna get pushed over. And we're gonna close out the let. Actually, we're gonna do this first. When result get property. No. How do I get the property out of the text? Let's see. Text properties group. Propertize. Get text property. Get text property. Position prop. Got it. Wait, is that a position? Is that what that said? Get text property. Position and prop. I don't want a position, I want a string. It's almost like I have to do a temporary buffer. It seems like this shouldn't be necessary. So like, when result with temp buffer, insert result, get text property. Seems real dumb to do this, but this is what we're doing. Position 0, prop path. Is that right? Args out of range 0, 0. What does that mean? Position, prop, positions, property, prop, and object. Object should be buffer a string. Insert oh. I don't know. Args out of range. Toggle debug on error. No. All right. Insert get property 0 path. Oh wait. Args out of range 0. That doesn't make any sense. The text should be there, shouldn't it? S buffer string. I just saw that. It said buffer system cut stream. So the buffer contains the text we're looking for, but get text property is getting upset. Returns value of positions, property, prop, and object. Well, let's say 1. How about 1? I think that worked. All right. Take that out. And now that we have this, find file. Find file. I can give it the file name, right? Okay. This is kind of messy. String p nil. Did we not get a text property back? Is that what happened? All right, message result. Result nil. Great. Maybe use point min. Maybe. So How to enable true transparency Emacs in Wayland. Checked out the alpha transparency properties, I think. All right, so Emacs read text property from string. Is there a better way to do this? There must be. Text props and strings. How about that? Wait, is this just a P list? So I can grab the rest off of the end. How's it work? Zero or more elements in groups of 3 as follows. Begin, end, P list. Oh, that's like the substring areas. Examining text properties. Prop property of the character after position plus an object. A buffer. Oh. A buffer or string. Still didn't work. So hold on a second. First argument is a string to copy. Remaining arguments form a sequence of property value pairs for text properties to add to the result. A sequence of property value pairs. Not like this though, right? I think we tried that and it didn't work. Yeah. Wrong number of arguments propertized to. Ay, ay, ay. Trying to get to the right window here. It's going great, as usual. I don't know, the APIs here are not very obvious for how one is supposed to do this stuff. Any comments from the chat? Any suggestions? Text properties at position. Let me try that. Returns the entire property list of the character position in the string or buffer object. Let's try that. Text property. Position is 0. Object is result. I'm gonna just drop this down and then comment that line out. Oh. Did I miss one? All right. Nil. I feel like something's wrong here. So we got options. Map car, lambda file, propertize. We're propertizing the title string. We're giving it path and file. Let's just check this out. Propertize. Foo. Bar. Bar. Okay, so I see that. The properties are there. So, and if we run it back through text properties at 0. All right, I think something's wrong. I think something gets changed between the time we give it the list of options and the result that comes back. Like the properties are being stripped. Completing read Emacs text properties. And the problem, though, I just feel like this is not going to work. Consult file preview is not going to work on this because each option does not correlate to a file path immediately. So we would have to add some extra logic there. Oscar says, what are we looking for in the info pages? We're trying to figure out how to... trying to figure out why the properties of the string that gets returned by consult read are being removed, because we're trying to stash some information in the string. I guess the only option really is to make a hash table or something like that and index it back out based on the string. It just feels wrong. It feels so heavy. It feels like we should be able to propertize the string that we're going to use as an option in consult read and then pull that information back out of the string at the end. But it doesn't seem to be the case. Ashra says, sound like you want to do completely read with a hash table. Oh, well, that's a good point. I did see that, right? Completing read. In fact, wait. Completing read. Wow. Completing read hash. So it doesn't really say Emacs Lisp sorted hash table. Sorted by the value. No. Map hash. Is that it? Is that the problem? Is that I'm just not using the correct approach? Make hash table. Not exactly. What I want is there to be a different string shown versus the result that comes back. So let me see if I can do a simpler example here. I don't know if there's a better syntax for this. Keyword args. How does that work? So it's make hash table. Ooh. No, not T. Test keys, quality test, literal expression, add entry, put hash. And we're going to do test equal here because they're going to be strings. Put hash foo.org. Is that right? And XX, this is tab. Okay. Huh, all right. Invalid function foo.org. Why does that have to be a function? Oh, got it. Yeah, it returns back the same thing. It doesn't return the value. That's what doesn't make sense. Returns the key. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, you can use that afterwards. You're right. Good call, Ashraz. All right, so in that case, we're not exactly going to do a map car. I guess we could do a map car, but... This is really not cool. This is kind of gross, actually. We're gonna put this in here, and then file is the value, and we're putting that into table. Okay. We're gonna change that to table. Then when we get result, we're gonna use get hash result table. There we go. Then we got a file name. Thank you, Ashraz. Ashraz always comes to save the day. Okay. So we've got that. We don't have the annotations around to make the date show up correctly. We could actually put that in if we wanted to. Speaker says, do you have any suggestion to make the Lisp editing experience better? I mean, the most obvious thing to do would be to learn the key bindings for moving around S expressions in Emacs. And I don't have KeyCast up right now to show you what I'm using, but I have gotten a little bit better at it. It is... What? Ashraz, meant for third parties, is double hyphen. Yeah, I know. I think that it's sort of the internal API. I don't really know, though. I didn't see anything other than that. Anyway, yeah, use the built-in S expression commands. It's like kill S expression, mark S expression, forward, backward, all those things. It's usually Control, Alt, and the normal Emacs movement keys, like back and forward and stuff. That's generally what I'm using to get around, and it does work pretty well. People will tell you to use par edit and things of that nature, which they're good for sure, but I haven't really seen the need. I can kind of fix my problems well enough that I don't need help with that. Probably I'll change my mind on that at some point. Okay, so we've got the file listing. It still doesn't do the file preview, does it? No, because there's no way for it to know what the actual file is going to be. So yeah, file preview is out the window. All right. So what do we have? What we have so far is the ability to get the list of notes using their actual title and not the file name. That's a benefit over consult, find, denote file, or whatever. And the other thing would be sorting based on the date. So let's see. Emacs get modified date of file path. Is there a way to do that? Modification time. That's only for open buffers, it seems. They're calling stat. Yuck. File attributes, file attributes, file attributes. File name, cool. Return a list of attributes of file name. Thank you, Ashraz. File attributes modification time. Excellent. How would we do that effectively then? Unfortunately, don't have a lot of time left. So we're going to see what we can do here. We need to sort the directory files based on that criteria. Let's just see if we can do that. Sorted files, denote directory files. Yeah, this is going to hit the file system for every single one too, which kind of sucks. So we'll just start with that. They're not sorted yet, obviously. All right, so denote directory files. And we're going to have to do almost another map car in a way. Yeah, but what I want modification time, not creation time. All right. So we're gonna try to do another map car here. Also, Emacs sort list, because I haven't done that before. Sorting. Sorting list, sort. All right, so we just got that. Oh, God. I guess I can make my own sort function. This is going real well, okay? It's going real well. What can I say? Sort sequence. There's a key. Where's the comparator function? So we're gonna have to make our own, I think. And we're gonna do a map car lambda file. The denote directory file is going to be the list that we're sorting on. The lambda file, we're going to use, what was the Ashra said? You store the modification time within the hash table, use an alias, for example, then your sort function could take the key and compare the entries within the hash table, but that's a completely untested idea. Yeah, you could definitely do something like that. Let's just start with this because this is where my brain's headed, and we're going to try it out. So that was file attributes. File attributes, tributes. No. Oh, less P. What's that? Attributes list is less than the second. That's interesting. Okay, fine. Not sure what exactly that means. We know that's not right. File attributes, modification time. There we go. Modification. And we're gonna const that with the file path. What a mess. All right, and then we're gonna sort it. Less than car left, car right. That's right, right? Sorted files. Sorted files. And in sorted files, we're going to have to take the cdr of file because that's actually the file path. Yikes. Void function file attributes modification time. Where is that coming from? From files.el. It's a bytecode function. Why isn't it there? Do I really need to require that? Require files? Sure, why not? Void from file attributes modification time. File attribute. My bad. Oh. So the time can't be easily compared. Less time less p. All right. Not that. All right. So let's go and edit scheme. Ooh. It's not. Oh, it's reverse order. There we go. Thank you, Ashras, for screaming at the screen. I see it now. I appreciate it. All right. So, we kind of made some progress. It's awful, though. This is awful code. I'll just go ahead and say it. It's terrible. We didn't really get that far. I think if I were just to go here at the end and say find file with git hash, it will open the file correctly. So building barns. Okay, so that works. So we actually did write a function that works. It's just terrible. I feel very sad about how this looks, but that's what we're going to live with today. Maybe we'll do another follow-up stream about this, or maybe not. Maybe it's a total failure. You tell me. Let me know in the comments what you think, if it was worthwhile to watch this. Probably there's some things that you didn't know that I didn't know either, obviously, because I had to figure them out with the help of Ashras. So maybe it will be useful to you for your Emacs Lisp writing adventures, but who knows. So completion preview mode, whoops. Anyway, I'll put the source code that we wrote right now in the show notes. You can check that out after I get it committed. The link is not there right now if you're watching the stream live, but it will be there in just a moment. But yeah, come back next week for the Crafter Hour streams on Monday and Wednesday. I'm pretty sure we'll be doing both of those. Actually, Wednesday I might not be able to do it. Monday I can do it, but Wednesday I probably can't do it. So anyway, come back on Monday for Crafter Hour stream. We'll do some more hacking on the Guile Scheme app for emacspackages.com. And also remember that the new Geeks course is in development, early development, let's say. And if you want to see sort of the development of that as it goes on and give your feedback on the course material and sort of benefit from it as it goes, make sure to become a member of the System Crafters Guild. Go to systemcrafters.store and join the $15 a month level or higher, and you will be added to a forum where we talk about that. So that's that. Thank you all very much for being here today. I hope you all have a great weekend. And until next time, happy hacking. See ya.